Hello and welcome to a new video. I am Reddit Asks You, and we ask the question: if you could go back in time, what event would you witness? Let's get into the replies. From Ancient Sumerian God. Assuming I have a safe vantage point on some kind of spaceship, I choose the planetary impact that's believed to have given us the moon. Yeah, I like this one. Has to be the single most meaningful moment in our planet's history. From Alfunan Games. As a geologist, the Lake Agassiz flood. During the last glacial period, over 12,000 years ago, there was a massive lake in the middle of the North American continent fed by glacial meltwater. This lake is now known as Lake Agassiz. At its peak, the lake was larger than all of the current Great Lakes combined. Estimates put it at 440,000 square kilometers in area. Most of that water was held in place by glacial and topographic dams. At the end of the last ice age, the largest ice body containing the lake to the east in Hudson Bay retreated/melted, causing the lake to drain almost completely in less than 9 months. A freshwater lake with tens of thousands of years of history and input, and more fresh water than all other freshwater bodies on the planet at that time combined, drained in less than a year. The flooding was likely unprecedented in all of Earth's history, carrying erratics, boulders, the size of small houses hundreds of miles away. As the water drained into Hudson Bay and other outlets, the global sea level rose by 1 to 3 meters. Lake Winnipeg, Lake Manitoba, Red Lake, and Lake of the Woods are the largest remnants of Lake Agassiz. I was in Thief River Falls, Minnesota a few years ago. Approaching from the south, there are some rolling hills, but the areas around the city are absolutely flat and made for boring, but easy, bike riding. The locals said it was so flat because it used to be at the bottom of a glacial lake. It would have been on the southern edge of Lake Agassiz. From Professor_Max_Hunter. There are so many incredible answers here. I don't know if this answer counts as it's not historic in the terms of a specific event, but I'd love to see early humans and how their lives were. I'd love to witness a hunt and see how they survive. What their early community life was like. What they really looked like. I am curious to know what their teeth looked like pre-farming, how their bodies looked when food was scarce but they did a ton of walking, and really how they walked without shoes. After writing this out, I'd like to see Otzi the Iceman's last day. Scientists know almost everything they can about his last few days on Earth, but not who he was or why he was murdered. It would be interesting to see the answer to those questions. This is along the lines of what I was thinking, but I'd go back a bit farther to see when Neanderthals and Homo sapiens lived side by side, just to see what their everyday lives were like. From Coat 112. January 13, 2007. I'll be on the patio outside my kitchen in Brussels. I will find out, once and for all, if she actually locked the door when we left for Rome as she claims. To see if that burglar chose our apartment out of all the others to use their lock-picking skills to enter and steal all my CDs. Or she didn't, and a burglar who tries to see if doors are locked or not found ours. From GenXDGAF. The Crucifixion of Jesus. I am not Christian or religious. I am just curious about a man that changed the world. Or maybe the resurrection day would be better. Did he really come back? How many witnesses were actually there? During orientation week at a Catholic university, they asked if you could have dinner with anyone living or dead, who would it be? I said Jesus, and everyone was so impressed and thinking I should have said that, but, as an atheist at a Catholic university, I had a very different agenda. From Butterfly_Burps. This isn't historic for anyone but my family. October 27, 2018. I was in Colorado celebrating Halloween. My younger siblings in Texas were at a party. One of my sisters, 15, left the party with an older boy, both drunk. The older boy was driving, and he ran off the road and hit a tree. Older boy broke his back but lived. My sister died instantly. I go back in time, stay sober, park down the road, and wait for my siblings to need a ride and drive them home. From Duldane92. Queen at Live Aid in 1985. From the footage you can tell it was an amazing event, but to be there and experience it must have been something else. From Trying_to_adult_101. I would go back to Monday, the 5th of August in 1996 to spend a day with my father. He passed on the 7th of August that week. I want a day with him to ask questions, get a hug, and to express my appreciation of him. He was my best friend and was the only person who seemed to understand me and respect me. From the Dunedin 29. I think it would be interesting to go back and solve historical mysteries. Was King Arthur a real person? Who was Jack the Ripper? Or more recent unsolved murders, etc. I also think it would be cool to photograph ancient civilizations and people to bring back with me to show what people actually look like. We can make a lot of educated guesses, but having photographic proof would be amazing. Or go back and meet Neanderthals. Learn they were actually pretty smart and take pictures of them. Document their culture and language as best I could. Or go and see the civilizations we're just discovering along the Amazon River. There were apparently millions of people and impressively dense cities. From Jerem. Honestly, I'd just like to go back to like a random summer day of 1993 or 1994. Enjoy music, people, culture without all of the distractions of today. Things were modern enough, but you were still disconnected that you could really engage with people and or whatever you were doing. It was basically the perfect time in a lot of ways, and I, like many people, didn't realize it at the time. From Olinatru. Does it have to be historic? I'd go back to the day before my mom fell inexplicably into a coma before dying. I know you shouldn't change the past, but I would love to see her smile and hear her tell me that she loved me again. I want to listen to her laugh. And I want her to not be alone in her final moments of consciousness. I was 17. It was 15 years ago last November. From Fighting Phil. I would go back to the creation of the Constitution. And I would make sure the founders of this country put in term limits for Congress. Would save us so much problems and issues we have in this country today. From Zathras. The day the meteor that caused the KPG extinction event hit. The first ritual at Stonehenge. The day the water that carved out the rock formations of Meteora escaped the lake. Witnessed the first vertebrate crawling out of the ocean onto dry land. The day, but not the night, my parents met. From Squararuto Faplapi. I would like to see what my ancestors were doing during important historical events. They were mostly British and Germanic people. Did they ever become Roman subjects? Did my English and Scottish ancestors fight each other at Bannockburn? When did they convert to Christianity? From Livin' Like a Sloth. I always had my list for this handy in case I have to jump a time travel ship in a hurry. Things I wanted to witness or people I wanted to meet, if they really happened/existed. 1. Meet the Prophet Muhammad. 2. Meet Jesus. 3. Watch the construction of pyramids. 4. Spend a day in the capital of Sumerians. 5. Participate a ritual in Göbekli Tepe. 6. Meet first human couple as they are now, in other words, real Adam and Eve that we all/mostly descended from. 7. Witness the extinction/last period of Neanderthals and their interactions with Homo sapiens. 8. Witness the world with dinosaurs roaming on it. 9. See the world sometime in its first billion years, I know, not habitable. 10. See what existed before the Big Bang. From No_Improvement 7573. I'm probably going to get flack for this, but I want to see the exact moment in history when the Nazis' final solution got the rubber stamp of approval. I want to know who all dreamed it up, how it was presented, how it was funded, and most importantly, I want to know the thoughts of every person involved so I can understand what would drive a group of people to do something as horrific and insane as turning genocide into another part of government bureaucracy. People like to say it was Hitler and a small but powerful minority of his followers, but dictators are nothing without people to follow them. And not every German was bullied into submission. For every conscript or good person in fear of their lives, there was at least one person who fully supported the movement. I want to understand everything involved in making that mess happen. From Kitten Loves You. Roswell. The alien crash. I want to see what really happened. Did an alien spacecraft crash? Was there dead alien bodies? Did one alien live and get taken to a military base? Did all the alleged witnesses really exist, including the group of young kids and their teacher? Did they collect the pieces of the ship to examine and back engineer? From Bladestorm 04. Battle of Alesia, 52 BC. Vercingetorix trapped Caesar whilst he himself was laying siege to a town. Caesar built an external wall around his siege, creating a sandwich with him trapped between two armies, and still somehow won. Vercingetorix surrendered, was executed in Rome, and the Garlic Uprising was pretty much over. Caesar became a national hero. Edit. Gallic. But garlic is good too. From Jaded Ad 9741. I would want to see the Stonewall Riots, March on Washington, the Library of Alexandria, and the day that started World War I. I also would like to meet my grandmas on both sides, just tell them what they missed, ask to hear my mother's mother sing, apparently she loved to, and ask my dad's mom to help me make food, she was apparently a good cook. If I could, I would take them back to the future and take them to my choir concert. From Ultrasound 700. Grand opening of Göbekli Tepe if it had one. Whatever would give me a chance to see it when it was fully constructed and what people did around it. Gotta be one of the biggest mysteries in archaeology, and we'll probably never know its purpose. From Wyism. Pompeii, so my family wouldn't have to buy a casket, winky face. In all seriousness, I would like to see the first time humans harnessed the wind with a sailing boat. To witness the invention that freed man to explore his world, now that would be something. Perhaps humble, and not very grandiose, but it would be visceral and satisfying in the way of all simple but weighty beginnings. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more Reddit comment videos. Check the description for the original post from Reddit. Good luck to everyone today.